Nothing beats a hearty chili, and my chili is quick and easy and delicious. We start out by adding a little bit of olive oil into the bottom of a pan. I'm going to be sauteing some onions. So you want an entire onion. You can use any type of onion that you prefer. I am using a sweet yellow onion. You can of course use a white onion. I probably wouldn't use a purple onion, but this is a sweet onion. You just want to saute that in the olive oil until it gets nice and golden brown. You can download the full recipe right from the project page, and there's a number of variations that you can use when making this chili. I'm making it with sausage and beef, but you could also use ground turkey, which I do often, as well as ground chicken if you wanted to do a different type of meat. You could also just omit the meat and leave it vegetarian. I would just maybe add some more bell peppers, kind of bulk up on your veg. Now that I've let my onions cook for a few minutes, I'm going to go ahead and add some bell peppers. I love bell peppers in this. It's a great way to kind of hide veggies if you've got a picky eater in the family. So I've got some diced orange and yellow bell pepper. You could also add green if you want, but again, if you're trying to camouflage it, it will blend very nicely into the chili and nobody will be the wiser. So just let this saute. I like to, get it sort of halfway cooked before I start to add in my beef. So I've added in some sausage, I've added in my beef, and let that cook for a few minutes. I'm going to go ahead and add 1 packet of chili seasoning. And then I'm also going to add in my ground cumin. I love ground cumin. I feel like it's an underutilized spice. You can go heavy-handed on this or you can go light on this. I love cumin so much that I usually put 1.5 to 2 tablespoons of ground cumin into my chili. But again, you can put as much as you like. If you like it on the spicy side, you could add some red pepper flake. You could also up your the chili spices by adding chili powder. I will say that by adding the sausage, I'm using a mild sausage, so that's going to add a little bit of heat as well. If you, again, want it really hot, you could add hot sausage. So we're just going to let this cook down. We want that meat to get almost all the way cooked through before we start to add the next ingredients. Next, I'm going to add some sofrito to this. Sofrito is a wonderful base. It's got tomato, it's got cilantro, it's got garlic, it's got all kinds of bell pepper. It's got all kinds of great stuff in it, and it just adds a little something extra to the chili. You can put as much or as little of the sofrito as you want into it. It can be hard to find, so you definitely want to look for this in the Latin section of your supermarket. I really like to push this flavor profile, so I'm going to add a little bit of red wine. I'm using a red blend just to really push that flavor profile. I'm just using, again, a red blend. You can use any type of red that you have on hand. And like I said, it just really pushes that flavor profile and it just melds very nicely with all the other ingredients. If you prefer to not cook with alcohol, you can certainly omit this. Now to this recipe, I like to add 2 different types of tomato. I've got some strained tomatoes here. This is my favorite brand. It is a little on the expensive side, but I love it. I always have this on hand because I use it a lot in cooking, especially when I'm making sauces. So I'm gonna put in about 2.5 cups when all is said and done. You can certainly, put in less if you want. There's no right or wrong way to make chili. There's just different ways. So just give that a good mix. The next item is espresso powder. I'm really pushing the flavor profile here, and this is just like one of those ingredients that just adds a little something extra that people have no clue what it is. So, like I said, I love to push the boundaries of flavor profiles. So, I'm using a little bit of instant espresso powder. Not a lot, just a little, just to add a little extra depth. So give that a good stir, make sure it's nicely incorporated. And then we're gonna go ahead and start adding in our canned goods. I'm adding some diced tomatoes that are in a little bit of basil, oregano, and garlic to that. Those are diced. And then I'm gonna add 3 different types of chili beans, all in chili sauce. I've got some red kidney beans that I'm adding. I'm also adding some mixed beans in chili sauce, as well as some pinto beans in chili sauce. I like the chili sauce because I don't have to drain any of the beans. Next, we're gonna give this a really good stir, and then we're just gonna let it simmer for an hour over low heat. It's been an hour and our chili has been simmering nicely. It looks absolutely delicious. It's all bubbly and it's ready for us to dig in. You can serve your chili a number of ways. I like to add a little bit of sour cream, some sharp cheddar cheese, and some avocado, and then scoop it up with some corn chips.